doing this morning? I'm excited today because I was able to figure out how to reduce the latency from 20 seconds down to 3 to 4 seconds. We have a 3 to 4 second delay. At least that's what I'm told. So we're going to be looking at the charts, and you can compare your time to my time, and they should be relatively close today. So that is the goal. I'm to be honest, I'm really excited about that. I really did not like the delay on how delayed it was. I was not planning on streaming today, but was able to squeeze it in. So I am. Oh, my volume is low. Let's see. Low volume on music or low volume on volume? Which one? My audio output looks really high, to be honest. It might be the music. But yes, I'm glad to be here. Was not expecting to be here this morning. So, pleasant surprise on my end. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. We got news at 10 o'clock. So, I don't think we'll be taking a trade before then. My voice. Interesting. My voice is low. Found the problem. I have too many on and off switch all over the place. So it is, I didn't make sure all the buttons were pushed. But we are all set now. We are all good to go. Let's jump into the charts here as soon as I get some stuff situated. Okay. Let's do this. Oops. So we have an ending of one of the Apex discounts tonight, the 85% funded activation costs. So I have an eval. We're going to see if we can get that passed today. That would be nice if we could. See if we can wait for that perfect setup. We're about $2,000. So we would have to go fairly large. Let's see if I go 3 contracts. Let's do 3. Okay. Sorry, just getting things situated here. I think we are good to go there. All right. Let's take a look. How we all doing this sport? Low volume. How is the volume better? Give me a thumbs up if the volume's better today. Better. I did adjust the volume. We should be better. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a 5x5. Let me know that volume's good. And we should not be that delayed here, guys. We shouldn't be delayed that much. We should only have a 4 to 5 second delay. Pretty sure I got everything set for that. Good morning, good morning. How are we doing this morning, guys? Let me know how the volume is. I want to make sure everything is sounding okay. Is the volume good? Not so okay? Or is it bad? Let me know. I can't tell by you guys not saying anything. Good morning, Joseph. How you doing? All right. What do we... All right, let's jump to the 15-minute. Let's add our midnight open here. Price is opening here in a second. Okay, so we're going to, and there we go. Midnight open. Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, so I am excited today for two reasons. One, I was able to be here this morning. I didn't think I was. And number two, I think I figured out the delay factor on YouTube. So we should just open just happened about 10 seconds ago. So hopefully your stream, what you're receiving, is not that delayed. At most, maybe 5 to 7 seconds at most. But it should be anywhere from 3 to 4 seconds, which I'm really glad about. I didn't realize there's some other settings that allowed me to get more updated or more current speed. So we're going to be watching price. We do have news on Tuesday today at 10 a.m. It's consumer confidence. So I'm expecting price to be a little slow until we see the news drop at 10 a.m., which is in 30 minutes. So we're going to do some price reading. We are still instituting and focusing on the 3-trade challenge. Only 3 trades combined on all accounts, 3 trades. I'm adding combined all around because I didn't do that yesterday. And I want to be more disciplined for myself, even. Okay, we're looking here at the 15-minute. We got our midnight open up here. We had this beautiful breaker play out right here. That was nice to see. Now we are below the opening price, and our obvious draw on liquidity is going to be this daily fair value gap. That's just the obvious. We just swept these highs. Now we do have a regular trading hour gap that's sitting right here. So we're going to mark that. Let's see. And we would also have our initial new day opening gap sitting up here as well. So I would love for it to reach up into this level, fill this level here, and then move towards the daily volume or daily fair value gap to the downside. For those that don't know, if we look on the daily time frame, we have this large fair value gap sitting right here. And we've respected this daily volume imbalance sitting up here for the past 1, 2, 3, 4 days. And so we may see the expansion lower at this point. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame. Hang on. Let's see if we get a fair value gap in here. Look at this. Look at this nice structure on the 4-hour. This 4-hour is going to be very telling. If we can close below this level here on the 4-hour time frame, I would officially call a bearish market. So if we can close through this daily fair value gap and the 4-hour, we got a bearish market, is going to be my opinion. There's a breaker right here. Good morning, Charles. Not interested in this anymore. I wanted to see a fair value gap left here if I was going to consider something like that. So no fair value gap, no idea. How's everybody doing this morning? Drop down to the 1 hour. Let's continue our top-down analysis, just see if we're missing anything. Okay, small 1 minute fair value gap up here. I don't expect us to retrace into that unless we want to run for these relatively equal highs, sitting above all of this. New day and new week opening gaps. I don't think we're going to want to. I think we're going to want to expand lower. I don't expect price to get up there. From a 15-minute perspective, we got this low and the new day opening gap. See that maybe filled. That would seem appropriate. Maybe even push past that into this higher 15-minute fair value gap sitting right here. Not as confident we would see that level. Our open has been pretty lackluster, really nothing for us to look at. We don't want to consider anything until we start getting some expansion. And the way we see expansion is through fair value gaps. Something like this. We want a nice fair value gap, but this is before opening price. We want to see from price. Opening right here. Do we get any expansion moves? To me, this is a draw on liquidity. Let's see where our lower target could be. Yeah, we got a nice 500, 450. So there's 50 handles right there. Let's see what happens with this fair value gap. See if this is left open or if it's closed. And that's what we're watching right now. Okay, there's minor sell side right here that was just grabbed from these lows. And there's nothing until we get to this daily fair value gap. Got a high, low, higher, high. I'd love to reach back up to here and go short. That would be interesting. Don't know if it's going to give that to us. Pretty close to this draw on liquidity at 450, 445, 447. But we're waiting. Oh man, don't go without us. All right, looks like we're going to hit this without any opportunity. It'd have been nice to get one. The only opportunity we could see now is if we want to fill this opening range gap and fill this new day opening gap sitting here. Maybe find some resistance in this 15-minute fair value gap. So I'm not going to look at that as an opportunity until after 10 o'clock. I just thought that this was an obvious target. We were so close to it that I might want to run into it. Here's a 30-second view. Okay, we haven't hit it. That's nice. If you look at this structure, we have nice structure for the continuation of a market maker sell model. Target would be complete hitting this low, and then on a higher time frame we could see much more lower prices, which we could go down for a couple weeks most likely, which is very needed in the market we've been seeing. Sorry, you can't see what I'm looking at here. If we zoom out on the 4-hour time frame, you can just see the structure. Really nice structure on a higher time frame, the beginning of a market maker sell model. This is going to be really a key factor on if we are going to see lower prices all the way down to, you know, it'd be nice to hit all the way to 17,700. Reach all the way down here. But obviously our first target would be these clusters of new week opening gaps. That would be our next higher time frame target, sitting in the mid 1800s, 18,000, mid 18,000. Sitting here waiting for news. I'm waiting for news, or I'm waiting for a clear entry for a short at this level. Don't think it's going to give it to us. We aren't taking the stab into here. We want to see how it reacts to here. If we close through it, we're going to act as support and maybe target these new day opening gaps up here. But I think we may be heavy. I think we're heavy. Now, these candles are fairly large. This candle here alone is 32 handles. That's 32 handles of distance right there. So there's a lot of volatility despite what you think the size of these candles are. These are some big candles. So wins can be fairly quick and easy if you're just looking for, 10 handle wins, 10, 15 handle wins. That's going to be done fairly quickly. Kind of want to just take this right now. I didn't do it. When I saw the movement of that candle right there, I'm like, can I just chase it? I just want to chase it right now. Not going to do it. I didn't do it. We're going to see if we can get my eval account passed today. That would be nice. Save myself $80 on the activation. That would be real nice. Let's see what kind of reaction we get from hitting this fair value gap, the daily fair value gap. We got relatively equal highs, and here's a 30-second. 73 to 86, that's 13 handles from this close. Depends on how aggressive we are. Looks heavy. Sell side has been grabbed. Liquidity has been grabbed. I just realized I clicked the wrong button. I'm going to get out. Wow. Have you guys ever done that before? Click the wrong button, you ended up being right. Holy cow. That's nervous. That just makes me nervous. Holy cow. Let's wait for this hit to get, and we'll try that again. There it goes. There's the high. We're gonna sell there, since it already hit the high. That was the move I was wanting to take. I wanted to go long here. Ended up hitting the wrong button. Got out way down here. And then was able to get back in this and run for these equal highs. Okay. Let's just take a quick breather. Ha! Wowzers. All right, here's the fair value gap that we were waiting for. I want to see, at this point, I think I want it to close through it and look at support and targeting these highs over here. But it may not do that. I'm not going to take this trade simply because we're 10 minutes before news. Because of how close we are to news, I feel like we may not want to run this quite yet and just kind of linger here. It does look really nice. It does look really nice. I'd be interested in taking a long, I'm not going to do it. I'd be interested in something like that. Waiting for price to come back down and find support at this fair value gap. So if it closes way up here, okay, that's fine. But I want it to come back down into this level. And then look at that as taking a long. I'll do a smaller size if it doesn't. We'll take a 1 contract. I want to see it come into here and find support in there. Meaning I don't want it to just drop through it. We'll take that. Initial target will be up here. Yep. Actually, once we hit this high here, I'm going to move my stop to break even. Like that. Stops at break even. We're either going to let it run or stop us out. That's what we're looking for here. All right, let's go hit it. 100 ticks. I'm going to take profit there. I'm happy. Holy cow, friends. Woo! Wow. I'm $600 away from passing this funded account or this eval account. This is also copied on my funded accounts as well. So 3 trades, 3 wins, 1 by accident. Great trades there. We took this long, beautiful trade into the new day opening gap. I have a funded. I'm trading this on a funded account as well, but I would be done for the day, Joseph. Hit that like button. Hit that like button for me, guys. I'd greatly appreciate that. So here's the thing. This took me 3 trades. I could have done all this in 1 trade if I had the cojones to do it. And that would have been right here on the 30-second chart, a close above that. That would have been 76 handles on that bad boy. But I did not do that. Did not. I'm going to close my copied accounts, and I'm only going to do this eval account. This eval account, you can see right here, we're at 52,639. 52,639. So we're about $400 away from passing that. So I'm either going to go 2 contracts and go 10 handles, or go 1 contract and go for 4 or for 20 handles. It seems the safer option would be to go for 20 handles, and based on the size of these moves, I think 1 contract would be enough. I do think we're bearish on the day. We just filled in the opening range gap. We are filled. We are open, or we're closed. We just closed it, and we're just barely away from this swing high. So I'm going to wait for this 15-minute high to hit and then see what price wants to do after news. So I'm not taking anything right now. I'm done on my fundeds. I'm only going to focus on this eval account right now. If you guys don't use Apex, or you do, or you want to get started and you want to start on your funded journey, consider using the code DTJ. I'll put that in here. to get the best and most updated discounts for Apex on your funded journey. If you want to find consistency, the best way to do that, one real way, here's a reaction on this high right here, is to start going on eval and funded accounts, because there's a level of risk compared to demo account, and it is less risky than trading your personal account. It depends which fair value gap are you looking at. Are you looking at this one right here? If you're looking at that one, that's not bad. I still think we got a little bit of upside here. Let's see how it reacts right here. We still got 1 minute before news. We're not going to take or touch anything before then. Nice breaker right here. I think we probably will push up into this 15-minute. I mean, you're not going to stop ticks below a 15-minute fair value gap. You're not going to do that. You're going to come up into that. So we're going to come up into this 15-minute fair value gap. There's just no way we don't. And it looks like we're going to get it right here. Oh, don't give me that. Come on, just follow through. What platform do I use for news? I use FX calendar right here. I'll share my screen. Let's see if it pops up there. There it is. Right there. So if you go to forexfactory.com, the calendar, that is what I use for my calendar. So here's the news. 10 a.m. Consumer confidence. And that is right now in this candle. All right, so that news candle is now over. Looks just in line with moving higher. That's really honestly what it looks like. Disregard the wick. Look how the body, sorry, I'm not even on my screen here. Disregard the wick. Look how the body is in line with this. We want to continue to see this level be respected and us run these relatively equal highs into this 15-minute fair value gap. We have our a midnight open as well here. I really don't want to go above this. I don't want to really go above this. I mean, if you look at the 15-minute time frame, I want to leave all of this open. I don't want to revisit this. I want to see heavy prices. Now the thing is, we do got to remember that we did just hit previous day low. So because we hit previous day low, we can get this type of reaction. I just really don't want it to go above this. Now, for those of you that are participating in and have been watching the 3-trade challenge, I've taken my 3 trades. I'm done on my funded accounts. I am going to take an additional 1 or 2 trades on my eval account for the main purpose of getting that passed. I'm $400 away. And I believe the $85 activation fee ends tonight. So might as well save $80. See if we can get another funded account added. I'm not interested in anything short right here. I mean, unless we see major displacement. So I'm not taking a short here. I may take a short below there, but we've already grabbed sell side liquidity. Previous day low was sitting right here. That was previous day low, guys. Where's my previous day low? There it is. That was our previous day low. So we got that right away. So all this price action here was below the previous day price action. We tapped into this daily fair value gap. And now I want price to hit this 15-minute. I really don't want it to go above it. I really don't. I don't. But, I mean, price may want to do something different. So we're going to watch and see what price wants to do here. But that news, consumer confidence here right at 10 o'clock, is right in consolidation, and we've been consolidating. Now, interesting here. I'm looking at the 5-minute time frame, and one of my models is that I've been monitoring is the 5-minute change in state of delivery, which is right here. We have a 5-minute change in state of delivery, and we have 2 main fair value gaps. If we come down to 60%, there could be a long opportunity if we don't hit this level. That's right here. See this level right there? That's right at the start of this fair value gap, which overlaps with this breaker sitting right here. And potentially could give us a setup for a long. So we want, this is a very key level here. We want to see how price reacts to this level. We don't go long until we have a 1-minute change in state of delivery, but price. So really what I look for is a close above a down close candle. A major down close candle. Typically, I want to see it grab liquidity. So we grab liquidity here. Okay. And we broke above that. Now we go from the highest high to the lowest low in that price leg, and we throw a fib on it. And we find where the 60%, 62% retracement level is. We want to have 1, 2 fair value gaps inside this price leg. And we want to see price come down into that 62% level for a potential long. We don't take a long until a 1 minute change in state of delivery. That prevents you from seeing it just continue to melt and drop below, and then you just taking a loss on that. So we're going to have that in the back of our minds as well. We also, if we are really heavy, we hit this level and then we start dropping, and we close below this, that also could signal a short for this low. And I don't know how much further we would want to target. Let's grade out this daily fair value gap. I think that's our only other option. We're going to remove the 4 hour for now. Because that's obviously within the daily. So we're going to grade this level here. And that's how we're going to target any downside moves. Taking profits, if we do take a short, this is the levels that we would want to target inside the daily fair value gap. Okay, so I'm going to close out the opening range gap box there. We were pretty much filled on that. Is ICT live today? I dropped a short. I was doing some studying last night, and I dropped a short. You need to check it out. Watching a 4-hour stream of ICT. And in there, literally for like 30 seconds, he shares something he's never shared before. I mean, in a 4-hour stream. That's the worst part about ICT, man. Is like you're stuck watching 4 hours to get 30 seconds of gems. But it's a legitimate trade idea. How he views the opening range. So his opening range would be till 10 o'clock, which would be from this high. It was this candle here, right? So he would look at this range here. And if a macro ends up at one of these levels, from this high, from this low to this high, I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff here. Let's get rid of some of this. If it correlates with one of these levels, and I haven't back tested this, so we're going to back test it. But if a macro ends up at one of these levels, significantly, probably the low, the high, or the consequent encroachment, or the equilibrium of the level, you can take a long off of that to the draw on liquidity. So the big factor is understanding what the draw on liquidity is. And he literally dropped 30 seconds of that. Never shared anything like that before. And just dropped it, then moved right on. Like it was not a big deal. All right, so here's our 15-minute candle. Or 15-minute fair value gap. I'm not as interested in this 5-minute change in state of delivery. I really wanted to use the 15-minute and these the midnight open and these levels here as the draw on liquidity. So I really wanted to see it come down before then. Yes. Code is always that code DTJ is always the most updated discounts and promotions Apex is doing. It will always be that way. Yeah, I think from now on, I think they're always going to do the 1 day pass. I don't think they're going to require people to wait 10 days when they do the discounts, because I think that's just really popular. Relatively equal lows, low resistance liquidity run right here. We have this fair value gap sitting right here. I want to see how it reacts if it closes aggressively below this level. Five minutes closing in 30 seconds, and it's very wicky right now. Very wicky. It's the kind of candle we want to see, and it's also going to be the close of a 15-minute candle as well. Not as wicky as I want it to be. I would have loved for it to close like a leggy candle. Really tiny body, long legs. Not interested in any longs here, guys. Not at all. I'm not interested in any type of long there. We do have some relatively equal highs. Yeah, yeah. Okay. This is pretty obvious. Yeah, we swept this. Oh, you guys can't see that. Let me go drop to the 15-minute here. Look at that level there, guys. Look at those. Yeah, we did sweep this from 462.50. That was only 4 handles. Usually sweeps are much larger than that. You're looking at 10 handles, 15 handle sweeps. So this could be of interest here. These being equal highs. That does have my attention. I'm not interested in taking that. There's too much history here. New week opening gaps, new day opening gaps, midnight open. I'm not interested in anything there. Maybe if we got through all of this and then bounced off of the high, the new week opening gap high, and then targeted it, maybe. But you're looking at, I guess that is about 20 handles. You come up here, come down here, bounce, and move higher. But at that point, I that would feel too much in premium. I would want to I really want to look for lower prices. This high to this low, we are well above. We are already in premium. We're already in premium from this red line. All right, here it looks like we may get a close below this 1 minute fair value gap. If we close below this, we could still find support here and then move back up, but I would love to see us run these levels here. Makes more sense to run these levels here. Because we also have a 5 minute fair value gap sitting right there. A nice big 5 minute fair value gap. So if you are looking for an opportunity, we're in premium, this is where you'd honestly want to look to go short. That's how I see that. And as far as does anything look obvious? No, not as obvious as the trades we took here and here. There's nothing that looks as obvious. If I'm going to put more risk on the table, it is an eval account, but still, I'm $400 away from passing it. I want it to be a legit setup. I would love to get 20 handles in 30 seconds. That's the kind of trade I would like to see. I would love to go back up here and tap the midnight open and then break lower. See something like this. That'd be nice. I really don't like this new day opening gap sitting right below this fair value gap that I want to look as an inversion fair value gap. I really don't like that. It makes the trade less confident in my opinion, just in my psyche. I mean, it may work out, but that's the point is, do I believe that it's going to work out, right? If I had my way, I would do what I just described before. I'd love for it to make a higher high and then break below this aggressively. That's what I'd rather see. Not hang out in here and then close below. I would rather it make a high and then be aggressive the other direction, not lethargic price action. There's not a single fair value gap above on the 5-minute nor on the 15-minute. There's no reason for us to go any higher, maybe just a wick above this like I would want. And we now are having relatively equal highs here that we may want to just stab through. That's what I want to see. I'm not taking a long, and that's the only way I'm going to go short right now. All right, there's the aggressive push. We did grab this high here. I didn't want to see that, but we just landed on that breaker right here. There's the breaker. Let's see if it wants to find a rejection there. Sometimes if you have this already on your charts, you can actually take a short right there and get 10 handles on just the retracement, the initial retracement. You can't do it on the second turn. Don't think that, oh, if it comes back up there, then I'll try it. No, it's on the initial tag, and then it retraces some. And you just look to get 10 handles. You don't look to hold it. So that right there is 10 handles. I almost bet you. I bet you that that's 10 handles from this high. Oh, look at that. To the tick. To the tick, 10 handles right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's where it closed. It went a little bit lower. But, all right, so we are running for these equal highs. Yeah, we're going through this like butter, guys. That's a signature. See all this? See how easily we're going through that? Oh, man. We're running that high, and we're probably going to run it right now. Look at that. We did an institutional order flow entry drill. Let's see if it holds. Wick back into this fair value gap. Let's see if it wants to continue higher here, if it's gonna just, it's being manipulative. Either way, we would not be taking this. I said I didn't want higher prices. I'm just getting down to a smaller time frame because 1 minute candles, when you got large candles, aren't really working. So you would want to see this moving higher right now. If we're going to run this high, if you were taking this fair value gap, you'd want to see it run higher right now. If it closed red or black, you would want to get out immediately. So it closing green's a good sign. The last offense is this order block. Yeah, I want nothing to do with this right now. There's an order block and the new day opening gap below. See what the 1 minute looks like. There's our highs. There's some highs right here. We should find some support there. That's why you see price stopping right here. Let's see if it wants to hold or if it wants to break back through. If it holds here, we will go to this high, and I don't know how. I mean, we could go higher. If we can't hold here, I don't think we're going to hit these highs. At least for this session. And that's in for 30 more minutes. So it held so far. Let's see if it puts in a 1 minute bullish order block right here. A close above this candle would create an order block, meaning that so that did not. So we want to see a close above this to give us an order block. And when we see an order block, that gives us more confidence that price is moving the other direction. It's also a 1 minute change in state of delivery. All right. Probably we'll get this in a candle or two. That's how I would do it if I was controlling price. People thinking there's equal highs here, I don't want them to have time to remove the stops. I'm going to run it quickly and aggressively. And then once I'm here, I'm going to push past it a good 10 handles or so to make sure that I'm grabbing all that liquidity. So here's 10 handles. It ran 5 handles above it. Now, 10 handles is an arbitrary number that I'm giving right here, guys. I'm giving that. There's no science behind it other than I know that when price wants to run and grab liquidity, it doesn't just go a tick or two above it, because people are going to put their stops, 3, 4, 5, 10 handles above a key level to account for it coming above it sometimes. So stops can be all in that range. And so when you see stop runs, you want to see an aggressive push through the level and then it retrace aggressively and move the other direction aggressively. That's typically a stop run. So I don't like just this small little wick here. I think we move higher into this. Now, if you're trying to go short off of this, it's a mistake. Don't do it. We got equal highs here. I mean, I think if we're going to run through this level, we could easily run to this 5-minute fair value gap sitting right here. You got to run, it will run to the first fair value gap or significant fair value gap above a key level, above a swing high. So that's what I would expect. If we're running this, it's going to run it into an imbalance. So there's their 10 handle push to grab the stops. Let's see if it wants to just aggressively reverse or if we're going to get a candle closing above this high. Right now we've had 3 candles not close above this swing high that we have right here. Does price want to close above it, or are we going to close bearish? There's the aggressive push. Now we are in a 15-minute fair value gap that was right above these highs. So theoretically, it may just want to hit this 15-minute and not just the 5-minute, but you can see it perfectly overlaps. That's a 15-minute fair value gap overlapping a 5-minute fair value gap. And look at the consequent encroachment. This is beautifully. This is that. I mean, here's your quarters all right there, just laid out perfectly. That's not random. So we are inside the 15-minute fair value gap. We don't want to do anything here, guys. I'm not doing anything here. The only way I'm doing something is if I get massive displacement lower. Give me a 5-minute change in state of delivery. Maybe give me a breaker setup. But right now, the level that I would have to see closed below is that level right there. And it would need to be a close below it. Why am I picking this one? Because it's the 5-minute candle that closed, that ran the high. This is the candle that ran the high. So this is the significant key level. So if I want to look for shorts, I want this to be closed below here on a 5-minute time frame, which is another 4 minutes and 23 seconds. So with that being said, I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom. All right, folks, back here. All right, so what did we do? It looks like we wicked down into that 5-minute fair value gap right here and have expanded higher. We're watching the consequent encroachment of this wick right here. Does it want to move through it, or is it going to respect that level right there? All these things are to be added on top of each other to start giving you an idea of order flow. So if we come up and we start close on the 5-minute above this wick, then we may reach for this high again. If it's too heavy to get above this, then that means we may have an opportunity when we close below this 5-minute candle right here. Because we already did wick into this 5-minute fair value gap, it should give it the energy to now move higher. But if this is not moving higher, that may be giving us an indication of a potential reversal here in the next 20 minutes, which is going to be the 11 o'clock macro. Not interested in doing anything here, guys. No, I need price to form a little bit more. Honestly, I would love for it to close below this, the consequent encroachment of that wick, because that means there's a greater chance we see a reversal, and I'm not going to take a long, I want to take a short. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'm okay sitting in silence. Might not be the funnest on the other end. All right, we closing here? 54 seconds. Let's see where this closes. If it does want to run back to this high, I'm okay with that. It will give us a nice breaker. High, low, higher, high. We could look for the displacement lower. But based on how easily it cut through these levels, it may not want to go back down. I mean, it went through these levels really like they weren't even there. You can see it coming up to this level here, coming up to this level. You can see it respecting these levels a little bit more. It can go through them, guys. It can go through them for sure. All right, we closed right. Look at that. Look at the close of that 5 minute. Look at that. All right, this is 651.50. The close right here. Look at this level right there. 651.50. Let's see what happens. We're right in the macro time right now, so I like everything that I'm seeing so far. See if price wants to give us some displacement lower. I'm not going to take anything short. There's obviously nothing here, but we want to see it on the 5 minute candle in 2 minutes and 51 seconds close below this candle's opening price right here. We don't take a short off of that. This is just more indication, more confidence that price wants to move lower. But do you see how price has been in this range for the last 20 minutes? 20 minutes, and it hasn't left a single fair value gap other than this small one right here that was violated. We want to wait for displacement. Whether it's higher or lower, I don't care. If it goes higher, I think I'll call it a day. If it goes lower, I might look for a short opportunity. 10:30. Where's 10:30? This is also the 15-minute. This is also the 15-minute change in state of delivery. So us closing below this level on the 15-minute time frame would also be significant as well. Alkai, I did. Yeah, I did. I'm done on my funded accounts, and I did take 3 trades actually. I am now on an eval account. I told everybody I'm gonna take 1 or 2 more trades. I'm about $400 away on that account. In case they end the $85 funded activation fee, I'm gonna just see if I can get this passed. So 1 contract for a 20 handle win would give me what I need. Yeah, I can actually show you the trades. The trades were all in this price action here. There were the trades. So I accidentally went short here on accident, and once I realized that, I closed the trade for basically $10 handles. Then I got in long again right here when we closed, when we had a more significant close, and then I sold it up here for basically a 5 handle win once we ran those highs. And then when we crossed this inversion, I got in long for this inversion here. Right there, I got long and then sold at this high. Those are the trades I had for today. And as you can see, nothing else so far. All right, I like this. I was hoping we were actually going to make a higher high, but we didn't. We left a really small fair value gap sitting right here. Let's see if we run this liquidity right now. Too small for any significance. I would never trade that. But it looked like it just retested that and this volume imbalance, this small volume imbalance right here. Let's see if it wants to run these liquidity right here. Rebalance this volume imbalance by a wick. Let's see if it wants to move lower. Eight seconds left to see if we close below this mean threshold, or the consequent encroachment of this wick again. There's the close. Okay, so we've stayed below the midpoint of this wick in respect to the bodies. I'm okay. I would love actually for this to wick up, grab this high, maybe come into this 5 minute and then retrace. I'd be okay with that. That's totally plausible. What happens with most people is they end up taking all their trades in this, trying to catch the drop, not realizing and setting a set of rules, waiting for the move to happen. So once the move begins, you're going to know through displacement, the displacing candles. Right now we have none. Even if we closed above this level, I would not call that displacing. A displacing candle is significant. It's obvious. It's these types of candles, large candles. Sometimes you can see it in smaller time frames, especially when you have an inversion or a fair value gap or a breaker that you can play off of. Just gives you more confidence on the lower time frames. But not a single fair value gap in the 1 minute. 30 seconds, still nothing. I mean, you had this one right here, but look, you grabbed that high and we didn't do anything on that. We didn't even run this low here. So this signature and price, not running this low tells you need to wait for larger displacement. Clear. Diane, hey, how are you? I don't know. I don't keep track of that. I let X and Twitter tell me when to do that. It shows up in my feed. Everybody starts talking about it. I'm like, okay, sounds good. I really sounds kind of ridiculous, doesn't it? I don't know when I'm supposed to switch my contracts. I've literally done that for like 2 years. I know it's sometime around this time. I just haven't paid attention to it. ICT talked about it, where he goes to a certain website and looks at the volume on contracts, and when the volume increases on the next year compared to the current, or the next cycle compared to the current cycle, that's when he makes his move. I just don't remember that website. If anybody else on here knows what that website is, drop it. I probably should know. I should probably take the effort and time to figure that out. We are still doing the 3 trade challenge, so no more than 3 trades. I'm done with my 3 trades. I am only giving myself 2 more trades in regards to my eval account only, because I'm looking at potentially passing that today to capitalize on the discounts that may be ending today. So all right, so here's our first displacing candle. We have 52 seconds left. We just went into this 5-minute fair value gap. Do we want to retrace and close below this wicks high in 40 seconds? Maybe counting this as a manipulation leg for a move lower? Or do we want to move higher? Tell you what I would be interested in. That candle right there. I would love to play that. Don't think we're going to get it, folks. Do not think we're going to get that. Here's the deal. It can run without you. That's okay. It can run without you, and you should not. The only irritation I have is that I'm sitting here waiting for what I want to see happen. And when it doesn't, you have to wait more. Most of your time should be done through waiting. You should spend significantly more time waiting than actually clicking the button. All right, we just filled the 5-minute, and we have this 15-minute here's overlapping with the consequent encroachment. So we just closed above that. We still have 3 minutes left on the 5-minute, and we just made a new 15-minute candle. So this level is becoming more insignificant as price moves, because this candle at this point was the candle that ran into this high. But now we have a new candle that wicked into a new key level, which is this consequent encroachment, or the midpoint of these two fair value gaps, which is significant, and especially since they're overlapping. I like this turning red with 3 minutes left. I would love to see a bearish move right here. Let's look at the 2-minute. 2 minutes right there. That's too long. Look at the 30-second. 30-second looks good. I like the 1 minute better. This is the kind of displacement you see for manipulation before it's so convincing, and then it will run the other direction. Do you use volume for manipulation confirmation? I do not. I am an ICT snob. How he trades is how I trade. He doesn't use any volume indicators at all. He knows that there's volume above here. There's orders. So you will see the run for liquidity. You wait for the displacement, and then you look for the entry opportunity. But I'm not interested in going long. I'm not. I mean, we could run high. We absolutely, there's scenarios that we could run higher for sure. But if we're going to run higher, I obviously missed that opportunity down here by not holding my entries. Holding an entry down here is where I wanted to take this trade higher. I do not want to go long again. So I'm waiting for that change in state of delivery on the 5 or 15-minute candles to give me that confidence that we are now moving in the other direction. If we don't, we don't. And we walk away with the trades that we've made, and we're happy with them. But if it's going to do it, it needs to do it fairly quickly while we're in the macro period. I mean, if we got a short right here, I mean, I'm telling you, that alone would do what I need it to do. 7 handle stop loss. Targeting that low right there is 18 handles. It'd be easy to get 20 handles right here. On a stab through this, you bet. I think that's really the only thing I'm interested in. We are waiting for displacement lower, folks. For those that are joining, we're waiting for this fair value gap to be closed below. We look at taking a short to run this LRLR, low resistance liquidity run, meaning there's multiple swing lows without a fair value gap sticking out and stopping price. It should run this fairly easily and quickly. When it does it, that's kind of what we're looking for. It has a nice setup to it. Has a nice displacement leg here to manipulate people thinking we're going longer. And when you do that, where do you think they're going to have their stops? They're going to have stops somewhere down here. And then it will run those aggressively, moving the other direction. That's what I like right now. So we're waiting to see if that wants to happen in the next few minutes. Nice 5 minute here. Low, high, lower, low. We see some displacement, aggressive displacement. And then what do? Once you have that displacement, you look left to see where could it retrace to give you an entry. You could take the body of this bullish candle right here. Well, that doesn't give us an opportunity for an entry. You can see that. So sometimes you miss your opportunities for long if you put your entry at the body, at the close price of this candle. But if you put it at the wick high of the highest closed green candle or bullish candle, you get your entry right there. And you would go long entering here and try to hold it moving to these highs or into this 15-minute fair value gap or the midnight open. Multiple ways you could go about doing that. But folks, it does not look like it wants to turn. That does not look like it wants to turn. And on the hourly, we got this nice bullish candle with a bullish fair value gap. I could see that. We could get some type of retracement here. Actually, if we're going to get a retracement, it's not going to be for the next 50 minutes. Do you guys understand why I'm saying that? I mean, we want this to become some type of fair value gap. It could retrace here and make a smaller fair value gap, but over the lunch hour, most likely it will come into this upcoming 1 hour fair value gap and come into it to rebalance this 1 hour fair value gap that will show up in 50 minutes time. And it will either find support in this 1 hour fair value gap and move higher, or it will run and break through this fair value gap, creating an inversion fair value gap to move for lower prices. So when I'm looking at this higher time frame, it's telling me we're probably not going to see anything for at least an hour or two. Get rid of those. Get rid of that. It's irrelevant. Get rid of those. Well, guys, the most exciting part of the day was the first 15 minutes of our stream. If you guys are just joining, go back to the first 15 minutes. You'll see 3 trades in a matter of about 15 minutes. We went short here by accident, or here by accident. Then we took a long here, and then we took another long here, all in this price run higher. The reason why I like this is we hit this daily fair value gap. We ran this minor sell side liquidity, and we had aggressive displacement in the other direction. Now, the thing that I need to get better at is leaving a runner to run when we get this hit a major key level like this. This is a daily time frame. This is a daily fair value gap. And our first introduction to that fair value gap is this. Look at that move. $250 points. Now, I would be interested to go back and see when price enters a daily fair value gap for the first time, what kind of reaction we get, because I should have held a lot longer. To be honest, I mean, I was already wanting to be bearish, so I was not bullish. I did take basically 2 bullish trades, but that was because we hit the daily. I just did not expect this type of reaction on that daily chart. Check this out, though. Here is our manipulation leg. So if we throw a fib and do 2 standard deviations on our target fibs, here's 1.5 right now. We're sitting right at 1.5. Here's 1. We reached up to that initially. Then after we hit our 1, what did we do? We consolidated. Here's our 2 standard deviations. Here's our 2.5, 3, and 4. Now, I'm not saying that we expect it to go up to 4. Honestly, if we do have a move higher like this, I would say 2.5 is the highest I would want to see. ICT talks about on manipulation legs, you should see 2 standard deviations. This is a manipulation leg on a higher time frame, in my opinion. I, on a higher time frame, want to see lower prices. But we may not. So if I see this as simply a manipulation leg, I would want to see it go 2.5 max standard deviations, which comes out to be about 19,783, which is sitting in this new week opening gap from a couple days ago. So from Monday, this is where price opened at the beginning of the week. So we could come back up to that level before we make an expansion lower. That's an option. Oh, looks like we're getting some displacement here. Short-lived, folks. Short-lived. So that's how I'd use the standard deviation to give me an idea of targets. You could even do the standard deviation smaller just from this last leg. And let's see where 2.5 is. 2 is right here. 2.5 is sitting right here. From this last leg that grabbed, actually hit this. 1 standard deviation. It's pretty safe to always run for 1 standard deviation. We ran the 1. I didn't hold for the 1.5. So you can use the Fibonacci tool to measure potential moves. Now, I don't use it that much. I usually would rather say, hey, where is the draw on liquidity? Oh, well, we have these swing highs right here. Let's target those swing highs. Now, the mistake that gives me, or the short-sightedness that offers me, is on these extended moves that I don't get to capitalize on. That's 250 handles of a move, and I got 30 to 40 of those handles. I got 10 here, 5 here, 15 here, so 25, 30. I got 30 handles out of a 250 handle move. I'm pretty sure I could capitalize and get more from that by utilizing some of these things. So my mistake looking back is underestimating the reaction of this daily fair value gap. That was my mistake. You could easily target these equal highs here. Targeted this 3 standard or 2.5. If you were to take a long on that close to these equal highs, we're looking at 153 handles. I mean, there's just so much room for growth in my trading. I just become content with getting my 10 to 15 handles and not holding for those larger moves. That will be something I will be focusing on right now. Before then, I really want to focus on doing the challenge that we're doing with only taking 3 trades. I want to focus on 3 trades. I think that's important for you, not only for you guys, but also for myself. As I've shared in the past, okay, here is the aggressive candle. Look at that. And we're not even going to get any of that. All right, it looks like we made an equal low here. I'm okay with that. Let's see where we close. Do we close below this? No close. I think I'm going to get in here, guys. It could run against me. If it does, I will. I'm pre-running this, assuming we're going to close below this on the next candle. I just didn't want it to run without me. That was the idea. It could run against me and it could hurt me. Let's see what happens. What does the 2-minute look like? 2-minute close in 15 seconds. So 2 minutes going to close below. Okay, 2-minute closed below, but the 1 minute did not. That's not good. We're really targeting these equal lows right here and maybe trying to see if we want to run all of this liquidity here. I don't like that we're not in a macro time. We did close it below on the 5-minute. So the 5-minute just closed below as well on an inversion. But honestly, if we close above this, that's gonna be very bullish. That would be very, very bullish. I just don't think it's gonna happen quite yet because we left these equal lows here. These equal lows are really why I got in early, assuming that we are going to run this after a large retracement. But I could be wrong. looking for this to run here. If we get this level, I'm moving my stop to break even, and I'm going to see if we can get a little bit more, maybe down to here. Let's put a limit order here. Let's see, my entry is at 648, 38.28. We're going to go right here because that's really all that I need, is that level right there. If we close above this, this would be an amazing long to these highs. I just really don't want it to do that. Looks like it's going to do that, guys. Where's my 2 minute? Since I got confirmation on a 2 minute, we're going to use that as my... That's my level, a close above this fair value gap. I know I got a couple things on here. I'm not liking this, to be honest. You have a breaker here from the bodies. High, low, higher, high. Bearish breaker sitting right here. I think I'm going to add a contract right there. I'm going to see if I can get 10 handles instead of 2, or instead of 20. See if we can get a push here at 51, so that'd be 41. Right there, if I can get to this level, that'll give me the same result as running for 20 handles here, or 20 handles with one contract. Yeah, I had a little more risk, but I like this close right here. Six seconds on the 5 minute. I'd love for it to close red. Oh, it gave it to me. Look at this. Here we go. Come on. Have my stop here, and there we go, folks. I'm not letting that come against me now. Let's hit that level. All right, there it is. Let's see if that gave it to me. There it is, $53,053. Woo! There's the move right there. There's those equal lows. There you go, guys. There it is. This is why you follow the freaking rules. This is why you follow the rules. So, what do I mean by that? I didn't get the 1 minute. But what did I get? I got the 2 minute close. Let's remove all of the junk around here and let's look at the 2 minute. That 2 minute closed right here. I went short assuming the 1 minute was going to close, but it didn't. So now my rules are 2 minute above, I close it, I get out. It did not close above this 2 minute. I hold through the drawdown. I manage my risk appropriately. I see a crazy reaction. A good reaction gives me the confidence to say, all right, let's just add one more contract in case we don't want to go all this way, and let's raise my stop or my target up so that I don't have to reach as far. We would not have gotten my level yet. My level would have been right around here, 28 I think it was. So I would have been a handle away from that level. But we ran these equal lows, which was the main target, and we were reaching for more here. Okay? We might still even get it based on this candle's close. But you can see how but how deep some of these retracements, it came into the breaker here, this level right here. Not the cleanest breaker for sure. Actually, it'd be right here. Actually, that's not bad. This wick low would have been the breaker. Came up into that breaker. High. I'm looking at the bodies. So sometimes you have to get rid of the wicks. High. I'm still using the wick low on this one. High, low. Higher high, bodies wise, we break below. I'm just, because I want to target, you can see it respected these wicks. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So there's that move. If I was not needing just to get that, I would still be in an opportunity here, because this is probably going to push lower. All right, folks, I think I'm going to call it a day there. A good day trading. Way to go. Hopefully you guys were able to participate in some of that. We went 4 for 4. That's a great trading day. You really can't complain about that. So thanks for being here, guys. Total today is 40 handles that we got. We'll be here tomorrow morning. Consider using the code DTJ for Apex. If you use it, 0 extra cost to you. If you appreciate these streams and this analysis, I appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you tomorrow. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.